There's 8 to 10 receptions out there that need to be accounted for.
And Baby Shark will drop 4 of them.
It better be Hockenson, man. Like, do something.
He may not get paid here, but he's trying to get some Benjamins.
No one can deny that. The biggest Hockenson fan. He's been mid.
Hockenson was brought in here to be a playmaker, and he's not.
But let's bottom line this right now. We're talking about this Lions game against Seattle. We know, at least we think we know what the story is. There's a chance that Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play. It is factually correct that DeAndre Swift will not play. Who picks up the slack, man? Because there'll be a lot of slack to pick up because these are arguably your 2 best offensive players. Non-offensive line offensive players.
Who will it be or who must it be?
Whichever one you prefer. Who won't it be?
It must be Jamal Williams because this is a run-first mentality team. So he will have to play well offensively behind that offensive line. But he is not as dynamic a runner as Swift. It's not even close. So I question whether he can pick it up. But he's the one who must pick it up.
And that's facts right there.
And then Tom Kennedy, I guess.
Well, that's what it is, too. Nicholas Duncan, WoodwardSports.com, Tom Kennedy, and Reynolds. So there you go. The Kennedy, we're going to speak it into existence here.
I mean, if Josh Reynolds doesn't play, I mean, there's another open spot for him this week. So, but like I said, if he does ball out in the regular season, I'm not going to continue to die on that hill, but he's got to do it. He hasn't done it yet. I just think the hype from the preseason was a little bit too strong. We'll see, though. Like I said, I'm not going to, die on that hill forever.
Down the hill, stand by your man. What's wrong with you?
If he's good with new information, I'm allowed to change my opinion. We all want him to be good, but
Flannel, either stand by your man or shut up. All right,
he'd be quiet.
That was
but
quick.
When you leave, he'll be talking again. WoodwardSports.com chat thread going on right now. I'm salty. Salty's having a pretty good day. Hockenson and Chark definitely have to show up. And you know what, guys? I'm with you because there's gonna be 8 receptions. If St. Brown doesn't play, there's 8 to 10 receptions out there that need to be accounted for. And you know what? Yeah. Certainly,
Baby Shark will drop 4 of them.
Well, and you know what? The Chark thing is not so much for me. It better be Hockenson, man. Like, do something. Do something.
Yeah, he's trying to get paid.
Is he, though? I mean,
He's trying. He may not get paid here, but he's trying to get some Benjamins.
Where is everybody with Hockenson right now?
Disappointed. Extremely disappointed. It's because all the questions we've had about TJ Hockenson have never been performance-based. It's been health-based. Like, can he stay out there? Can he get... And this year he's been out there, and he hasn't been producing. It's been mid. And partially, he's not seeing as many targets. He's not the number 1 option anymore. When we're healthy, he might be the 3rd or 4th receiving option in this offense. But this game, I expect him to step up. I expect him to get 6 to 8 catches. I expect him to have around 80 yards and a touchdown.
Real Cream of Wheat says, doesn't matter, he's still going to get paid. Not here, he's not.
Brad Holmes will not.
I mean, it is, dude. Like, it's one of those things, too. Those are the questions that have to be answered. But is this, I don't want to say it's do or die. That's a little extra, and that's a little grandiose.
Well, it's the same as must win.
No, it's not, Terry. No, it's not.
Damn close, son.
No, it's not, Terry. Look at the math.
Okay, do or die, must win. That's in the same neighborhood to me.
No, because Hockenson could have 2 catches this game.
Oh, I thought you were about the team.
No. I'm talking about TJ Hockenson. And I'm talking, you know what? And deeper than that, like Hockenson, the fans' views. Because I still think that there's a lot of support out there for him. But are the TJ Hockenson supporters, are you staggered right now? I guess you're saying. Because at some point, you got to show me, right? I'll go to Rick Ross for comment.
Sure.
You know what the lesson on this is going to be?
What is it?
The Lions ever draft a tight end in the first round should shut the franchise down. Shut them down.
Yeah. One funky Lions fan says, people expect Hawk to be Kelsey, and since he's not, He's not used like Kelsey. He is a letdown to people, fair or unfair. It's what it is. But see, one funky Lions fan though, like here's the extension of that. When you talk about market value and the perception of what he should be paid, again, in the financial circles, people are talking about this guy being a $13-14 million a year guy. David Njoku is a $14.5 million a year guy. Took over the game the other night in stretches.
I mean, he did. His history, he hasn't been very productive, and he's been hurt a lot, but he did play very well last week. And right now, this might sound like a hot take, and people might kill me for it. TJ Hockenson hasn't even proven that he is as good as Brandon Pettigrew was. And you want to pay that guy $14-15 million a year? Absolutely not. But in this game, if Ermanni St. Brown is out, TJ Hockenson will have to be the guy that steps up and catches those short and intermediate routes and actually is a top option on this team. And with those opportunities, he can maybe step up, because so far this season, he's been absolutely mid. I know he caught a touchdown pass, but 3 catches for 18 yards is worse than mid. And yes, he is not even as productive as Brandon Pettigrew was at this point. Look at the numbers.
No, and that's where it is for me, Terry. Like, because we're getting down to it with the guy. And at some point, dude, you have to deliver. And it's fair what Spence said about the tax of Amon-Ra St. Brown with the explosion of Amon-Ra St. Brown and what he's been able to do. That cut into Hockenson's action. No question about it. But it's been mid. No one can deny that. The biggest Hockenson fan can deny he's been mid. Now there'll be an opportunity. He has to seize this. I think this is a huge game for him, Terry.
It is, because first of all, yes, he's got to get paid. But secondly, he's got to prove to the Lions that he's worth being on this team. Now, this is almost like training camp for Hockenson. Are you going to make the team or not? We know you can play in the NFL, but are you going to make the team or not? This is his training camp, 2023 training camp. If he screws up and this game is bad, he'll be bad the rest of the time. And then, I think the Lions are going to say, hey, look, you had your shot. We're not going to pay you all this money. Now, if you want to come back on a $2 million a year contract, we'll bring you back. But we know that's not going to happen. So this is training camp for him.
I know that, but again, that decision has to be made. I'll give you guys this right now. I just want to go around the room real quick and get all of your guys' take on it, because as TJ Hockenson stands right now, and I want to get these numbers exactly right because I feel like it's important. With him being a first-round pick, obviously you're coming up to that 5th-year option next year. Next year, right now, Terry, as it stands, $9.4 million. If you want Hockenson next year, that's your 5th-year option on him. Yes or no? Right now, as we sit today. Sam Flannel, right now.
Because it's 9.4, yes. Paying him in the future, no.
Spencer Raxter.
Yeah, for sure. $9.4 million? Yeah, definitely.
See, I shade towards yes on that, but here's what gives me pause about that. Because then we start swimming in those waters. Because I have the same answer you guys have, right? Yeah, I think yes next year, but long term, no. But I don't want that danger. You know what I'm saying?
Danger zone.
If he comes what if he comes out the next year and catches 60 balls and has 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
But it's not dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can upgrade at that position. Get a young guy in there, give him a couple years, and by the time you're ready to win, this guy will be as good, if not better, than TJ Hockenson. I think we're settling for mediocrity here, fellas. That, he's all right. Now, you want more than all right. You want playmakers. You're never going to win if you don't have playmakers. Hockenson was brought in here to be a playmaker, and he's not. Swift was here as a playmaker. He is, but you can't depend on him.
This is interesting. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. One funky Lions fan. The Hawk hate is funny. Right under that, Alpha Dog 23. Tony Scheffler was even more productive than TJ Hockenson.
Easy guy. Easy.
His touchdown dances were cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Louis Bishop says, Brad Holmes' history of drafting well in the later rounds, you have to trust him to find a good tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. And that's That's where I am with it, my guy.
Bam.
Like 110%. Have complete faith in all of that. It's funny. Mark Walston says, save that loot for Lamar 2023. Who says no?
I say yes.
100% I say yes. And it's for the reasons we talked about before. You're paying him 50, but it's only counting 20 on your cap because you have Goff on the books for 30 already. And then you still got $55 million in cap space in
And he's
2024
about to
with
win
Lamar.
MVP again this year.
With Lamar.
Yeah,
Think about that.
it's nice.
That's the long game. That's the long game that I've been talking about.